Hi, and welcome to On Stage at A.C.T. Today, we're sitting down to talk with actor Noel Thomas, who will be featured in the upcoming production of Who's Afraid of Virginia Woolf as Nick. Thanks for sitting in and talking to us for this afternoon.
Oh, absolutely. Thanks for having me.
Now, you are brand new. Fresh off the boat,
Yeah.
Still got that new box smell, you know.
Exactly.
So since no one is, and I'm not even familiar with you, give us a little bit of your background. Where are you from, acting-wise? What's been going on with you?
Okay, I was born here in Florida, raised, went to school for business, and traveled the world playing in a rock and roll band. The little piece of acting that I did was I was a featured extra in Rock of Ages and I'm all in the Night Visitors at my church. So this is
that's a great show, though. It's a really good show.
It is a great show. So this is a little bit of a leap from my past experiences, but it's been very rewarding to be able to stretch myself in this way and grow into this role.
Well, what's interesting is that in a previous interview with another actor who was a professional and studied trumpet, music isn't really that far off from it's a different style of performing.
Oh, exactly.
But since you have been on stage and touring, you have presented a character before.
That's
it may not have been
right.
like this, but so your stage presence must come easily to you.
Yes, I've had to carry on a persona in a lot of different bands. So one was an electro-pop band, so there was one persona for that band, and then I was the screamer in a metal band, so there was a complete different persona for the other bands. So in a lot of ways, there were similarities to acting.
So it's just another way of stretching your talent.
Exactly.
Did you sing, play, both? What?
I played guitar in the electro-pop band, bass.
You don't see this much anymore.
Right, exactly. Trying to bring back the 80s.
Of course.
And then I played bass in another band, and then I was the screamer frontman for this heavy metal rock band. So.
I hope you had some extensions or a wig or had your hair grown out of some sort.
A lot of piercings and a few tattoos.
So let's get back to our subject for a moment, because I could talk to you about that all day. But we're here to discuss your character. So what can you tell me about Nick and how he fits into the show?
Well, Nick is a very ambitious scientist, intellectual who's looking to pursue his career and kind of take it to the next level. He's willing to really do whatever it takes to get to the next step. I also think that in a lot of ways he's very level-headed, but he's also adjusting to a very complex situation that he's unfamiliar with. And I think that there's a lot of similarities that I draw to the character, and then there's complete differences that I've had to adjust to be able to express that character.
Now, having I've read the play, I've seen the movie.
Mm-hmm.
Nick has this interesting relationship with George. They're both at the university. They're
Right.
kind of like, one's the old guard, one's the new guard. Do you find that Nick is maybe intimidated by George or his position, or how do they two relate to each other?
It's interesting because the way that I interpret it is that there's shifts in the power structure throughout the play. So there will be times where I'm intimidated by George, and other times that George is intimidated by me. So it's kind of interesting to see this flow, but it's hard to say who's necessarily intimidated of who.
So it is definitely an ebb and flow, back and forth power thing.
Yeah, exactly, and I think that adds to the dynamics of the play, is having those ebbs and flows between the characters.
And I always ask this to everybody, because, and especially this will be resounding from you, being new to this space. What for you is it like to work in something this small? Most stages are 3 times this big, with a proscenium arch and all of that.
Sure.
What's it like to be? I mean, you've worked on massive stages as a performer before, but what's it like being here?
Well, I think drawing from past performances with music, some of my favorite shows were the ones that were house shows, or these small little bars where everyone was in close. So I think that I'm really going to enjoy the experience of being able to be intimate and vulnerable in such a close setting with a crowd.
Well, at least this time they won't throw beer bottles at you either.
Yeah, that too.
A safety issue.
That too, yeah.
Are you done with music now, or is it just on a back burner thing?
Well, interestingly enough, I've been playing bass at my local church, and have been writing a little bit of music on the side. So it's been coming back into my life, and what I appreciate about any of the arts is that it releases and touches a spot of creativity within me. So being able to release that is a beautiful experience, and doing it through theater has been really rewarding and awesome.
Now, I would probably be chastised if I didn't ask, because you're of a certain age and you're relatively good looking. Are you single?
I have a girlfriend.
Okay, so no one who's watching this knows he is taken off the market, so
I have a girlfriend.
we'll just put that out there just in case anyone's like, hey, I better send this show and see if I can see him afterwards.
Yeah. I have a very supportive girlfriend who will be coming to see me, and
How's she deal with all, you've obviously your tour schedule and this? I mean, it makes for an awkward social life.
Yeah. I think there's a lot of priorities that you have to juggle, but I think that is what stretches you as a person and an actor, is to be able to devote your craft and manage all of these things. I think for me it has been a growing experience, and but it's not easy to juggle all these different priorities, for sure.
So, in your opinion, and we're going to get butts in the seats, why should people come to see this show?
I think that this show, to echo what Chelsea said, is absolutely one of a kind. But I would go another step and say that there's so much subtext, there's so much meaning behind the actual words that are being said, that it causes you to really think critically about the play and what's being said and what's the meaning behind what's being said. I think a lot of people are going to walk away with, I think it's going to really strike a chord in a good way with them that makes you think, how can I relate to these characters, and how can I deal with my own issues before they get out of hand?
So definitely an entertainment, but a thinking man's entertainment as well.
Exactly. I mean, it's so deep, and we've spent a lot of time as actors going through the subtext and going through the meanings that, and we're always finding something different with each read of the play. And I think that's the same thing for the audience. And no matter if you've seen it before, you're going to take away something new by seeing it here, and seeing it in this setting, I think is going to present itself in a new way.
Wow, it sounds like you've really devoted some time into developing it. So, what's next for Noel? I mean, you've got your music at your church, so that's right. We'll probably see you there every Sunday.
Sure, yeah. I wrote a children's book with my sister, and it's about inspiring generosity. So the next step is to illustrate it and hopefully get it published.
Well, we can never have enough generosity in this world. It's something that's severely lacking, so exactly. I wish you best of luck with that.
Thank you.
Anything else you'd like to say before we close out our interview?
No, I just want to say that it's it's been an incredible honor to work with these actors, and for them to really take a chance on me and help cultivate these skills, because I'm new to this, but it has been such a family environment and a close-knit environment that I have to say that I'm really thankful for ACT and the cast and the production that's going into this. So.
Well, Noel, I wish you the best of luck. Hope no stage fright hits you, and every single line is spot on.
Thank you.
You can see Noel here at A.C.T. when Who's Afraid of Virginia Woolf opens on February 19th and runs through March 5th. Noel, thank you so much.
Excellent, thank you.
I decided to come to this college.
In my mind, Martha, you are buried to your neck in cement.
Sorry you ever let yourself down. Who's afraid of Virginia Woolf? Virginia Woolf, Virginia Woolf. Who's afraid of Virginia Woolf? You didn't do anything. You never do anything. You never mix.
Martha, you are a wicked woman.